Hi guys, welcome to my channel. It's me, Xan again, and this is my first video at this channel. Today I'm going to show you something really mind-blowing, my journey as a sculptor, so don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's go. As an art lover or just a person who loves to create things, you eventually want to make more than just drawings. You want to make something that you can touch or play with and just look at and say, ha, I created that. And in that exact moment, you realize a pencil and an eraser just aren't enough to make something in 3D. So then you find this interesting material called crafting clay. You decided to try and sculpt something, but it takes literally a century, or it feels like it's finally going to be dry right after around the time you retire. You are mad, you go on YouTube to search for a solution, come across a strange video, click on it, and boom, this is exactly what you need. Polymer clay. Unlike regular clay, you just sculpt it and bake it, and you are done. But the best part, you can actually bake it multiple times, but remember not to overbake it. When I got my very first pack of Fima clay, I was only 8 years old and I created this. Those very strange cats. They look like they ran away from Raccoon City in Resident Evil but couldn't escape the Las Plagas or T-virus. And the white one, yeah, it isn't white anymore. But honestly, looking back at them now, I can't say it's a bad work, it was just a beginning. Cut to 1 year later, I started sculpting better and better. I even made Princess Celestia from My Little Pony because I was a huge fan of it. Sadly, most of those early sculptings just disappeared into the void or broke. But here are the ones that survived. Tiny freaking vegetables, fruits, and more. Yes, I'm crazy. I was only 12. I keep this collection in this ramen box featuring Seokjin from BTS. It's one of my favoriteest ramen, so let's open it. And we have avocados and pears. Strange combination, but okay. They are very tiny. This avocado actually has pretty nice texture. For the surface details, I used a dotting tool. Here we can see whole avocados and sliced one with this little pit and another one without. So how did I make them? Pretty simple. I shaped the basic avocado form, then used dry soft pastels to tone the surface and create the skin. After that, I cut it open, added the pit cavity, sculpted the pit itself, and that was basically it. Easy peasy. The pears were made using almost the same process, just with a different texture and those tiny seeds inside. Honestly, they are very cute. I'll give both of them an 8.9 out of 10. So next we have Chinese cabbage and carrots. The carrots actually look pretty nice. I even added those little grooves using a craft knife. And the carrot tops have a surprisingly nice gradients, but where are the leaves? Like, they don't look like carrot tops. They look more like tiny leaves. Now let's look at the cabbage, and honestly I really like the layered effect. I build it leaf by leaf and layer by layer. The only problem is the color, the shade is way too calm. And this white part looks a bit strange because I used acrylic paint, but I do appreciate all those little imperfections, they make it look much more natural. So the cabbage gets a 6.6 out of 10, the carrots get an 8. And now my favorite ones, watermelons. Let's unpack them. I've got one half and bunch of slices. Those acrylic painted lines actually look pretty good, but let's talk about the inside. Look at that flash. The texture is still surprisingly convincing. And somehow I even had enough patience to add all those tiny seeds. I roughened the surface using a toothbrush and toothpick to create that natural watermelon texture. For the flash, I mixed red clay with translucent clay. Then I added that lighter layer between the flash and the reed because real watermelons have that pale green transition. After that, I toned everything with dry soft pastels. Then the clay went into the fridge for a bit because cold clay is way easier to cut. And once it was firm enough, I sliced it up and look at those slices. They are so tiny. Compared to my hands, they are like basically microscopic. Oh, and there's a beaten slice too. Yo, who the hell took a bite of you, little one? Anyway, 12-year-old me absolutely cooked with this, so now, fried chicken, bro. I think I sculpted literally everything I could think of. And I actually have two versions here, an older one and a newer one. Let's start with the newer one. To make this fried gnarly chicken look more crispy, I just mixed Fimo liquid with dry soft pastels and that's it. Then I added a glossy finish on top and honestly that texture still slays. It genuinely looks fried. And now tangerines and oranges. Look at them, they are so tiny compared to my hands. And honestly, I think I had incredible patience when I made these. Every single pour was added using a ball stylus. The sculpting itself wasn't difficult. The difficult part was not accidentally ruin everything while adding the texture. One wrong move and goodbye citrus. Now let's take a closer look at this tangerine. Is it really that small or my hands are just that huge? And if I remember correctly, these were surprisingly easy to sculpt, which makes the results even better, so I'm giving them a solid 9.5 out of 10. And now, mangoes, apples, and peaches. Look at this little mango. Is it cute? I made great gradient. The sun-kissed side looks really decent. To create that transition, I applied dry soft pastels using a soft blending brush. That's why the color shift still looks pretty smooth. Then we have apples. There are several varieties here. For some reason, I made all of them elongated. I have absolutely no idea why just younger me decided that they have to look like this. Okay, the green one also suffers from the same problem as the cabbage, just because again, shade isn't correct. It doesn't look natural, it looks strange just because the shade is way too cold. And finally the peach with the little cute pit. Still looks pretty nice. Overall, I will give this group an 8 out of 10. And now squashes. I've got different varieties here. Regular pumpkins, butternut squash, and even a dark green one. I actually added the ribs and grooves by hand, which is probably why I'm still really proud of them. And there's more. I also made sliced pumpkin. This is one of my favorite details. Look at those stringy fibers and the seeds. I made the fibers again using my favorite thing, soft orange clay mixed with Fimo liquid. That's what helped me to create this hyper-realistic, stringy, messy interior. Then we have this dark green squash. Interesting shape, interesting color, pretty successful overall, but I don't know what's the difference between usual pumpkin and this green dude. Maybe taste. I'll give this entire group a 9 out of 10. Here we have tomatoes and cucumbers. Apparently, I had a lot of time because... Look at this! There are so many of them. Why did I make this many? I have no idea. For the cucumbers, I followed the natural green striping and color gradients using my favorite acrylic paint. They are simple, but honestly, they still look amazing. And now the tomatoes. Look at those tiny calyxes, or how do we call it? The little green tops somehow survived all these years, which is pretty impressive. You know what? Of course, 10 out of 10. Now the category I dislike the most, like eggplants and zucchini. Let's start with the zucchini. It's not bad. It even looks pretty realistic. Proportions are nice. The color works. Everything is fine. And then we have those weird eggplants. Oh god. Where do I even start? The texture is awful, the color is awful, and for some reason I decided to use nail polish instead of proper gloss. Question: why? There's also completely unnecessary glitter, okay, for absolutely no reason. Everything that could go wrong went. So, for eggplants, I will say 4 out of 10. And 7 out of 10 for the zucchini. And now, onions, potatoes, and mushrooms. Let's start with the mushrooms. They were ridiculously easy to make. Just white clay and some brown pastel and ta-da, that's it. Simple, easy peasy. So, 10 out of 10. And now the fish, just one-sided fish, okay. Swim. Okay, I don't know what else to say. 7 out of 10. Moving on. And now the onion. That's amazing. And surprisingly, this was actually one of the most interesting pieces to make. You know that actual onions are a little bit translucent. That's why for the base, I mixed translucent clay with regular white clay. Then I toned it using dry salt pastels. Fun thing, I still have those pastels, and here is it. Exact purple, exact shade of purple. This shade is called something like royal purple. To create the inside, I built the pattern layer by layer again. Then I put the clay into the fridge to make it rest from my warm hands. Then I just sliced it. 10 out of 10. And now the easiest thing in this entire box. Potatoes. Just potatoes. Literally potatoes. Step 1. Make something that is shaped like a potato. Step 2. Make them dirty, and that's 11 out of 10. Because they are potatoes and because they are very fast to make. Now the bell peppers. The process was pretty similar to squashes or apples. Just a different shape. In my point of view, they are a little too saturated, but overall, still good. 8 out of 10. And finally, we have bananas, plums, and a little chocolate bar. And yes, this is all I want to show you today, so please like and subscribe, and I'm going to show you something more interesting so soon. Yes, I'm going to do some little spoilers, so follow me and goodbye.